Hello, my darling, and welcome to day 29 of the 100 Days of Self-Love Challenge. Today, I'm in a funny mood, bear with, but today we're talking all about self-love rituals. Now, what on earth does that mean? Well, I am neurodivergent, so I find routines quite difficult because I'm more towards ADHD, and being stuck to a routine doesn't quite frankly suit me. But what I do love, and what I would urge you to start loving, are my rituals, because the difference between a routine and ritual, routine is kind of rules that you have to live by, and the things that you kind of have to do every day, in my brain. But a ritual, when you call it a ritual, it's about honoring yourself. It's about not worshipping yourself, because that would be weird, but it's like, just honoring yourself and creating these patterns that are there to serve you and to empower you and to make you feel good. So you probably know I talk a lot about nighttime rituals. A nighttime ritual might be, what time you wind down, when you turn your screens off, what kind of what you put in your bath, when you do your skincare, taking supplements and all that stuff. That might be your nighttime ritual. Your morning ritual might be journaling, yoga, breakfast, water, supplement, whatever it is. Okay. So you have a nighttime ritual that aids sleep. You have a morning ritual that would aid waking up in the morning. If you need to know anything about this, you need to join my Food to Fairy program, by the way. So what is a self-love ritual? Well, a self-love ritual is actually really simple in that it's about learning what is working for you right now. That's it. So, for example, I struggle, right? This is like cobbler's kids that's got no shoes, or physician he thyself. But I struggle just drinking plain water all day, every day. Don't find it very interesting. I do it because I know the benefits to my brain. I know the benefits to my energy. I know the benefits to my skin. I know all of that. So I do it. But it makes my life a bit difficult. So what's working for me right now is to have Tea Pig's cold brew, rose and lychee, little bags inside my water. So it's very natural. It's no artificial sugars or flavors or anything like that. But it just makes the water a little bit more interesting. That's it. Working for me. What's working for me right now is doing my yoga every single day, because when I do my yoga every single day, I don't get those aches and pains and grumbles. I'm nearly 50. Getting out of bed sometimes is like, you feel like you need to WD-40 your knees. But when I do my yoga every day, I don't have any problems. Okay, what's working for me right now is remembering to switch off at a certain time of night. Because if I carry on, so I love night times. I happily work till 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning. That's when my brain perks up. I've always been a bit of a night owl, but I've had to teach myself to sleep earlier, because it's all very well working till 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning, but I've got to be on the school run at 8. And can you see a problem here? So so I have to teach myself, and I create rituals around my sleep to enable me to switch off and wind my brain down slowly, so that I'm not like all perky and excited at 1 o'clock in the morning. What else is working for me right now? I'm just not putting the TV on in the bedroom whatsoever. I'm what works for me, and this is the weird one, I think, probably, but then again, that ship may have sailed. But I like to buy series of books at the moment. Do you know, like when you get into really good Netflix series? Do you know, like one of those you just binge watch it, you can't put it down? That's what I'm doing almost with books, because what I've discovered, because I monitor my heart rate and everything else all the time when I'm asleep, and I track my sleep and my quality of sleep almost to the micro amounts, because it's a very fine line between oversleeping and quality of sleep and all that kind of stuff. So what I found is that my heart rate on average goes up into the 70s, average sleeping heart rate, when I'm watching TV and I fall asleep with the TV on. If I'm reading a book every single night, it goes down to the 60s. But one of the biggest problems I've had is that a book finishes and I almost go into mourning, because I can't bear it. And I feel like I'm almost cheating on the book if I start another book straight away. This is where the series of books comes in. So I follow the character along the series of books. It's working for me. So basically, and I've started, I've added a new bit to my skincare routine. I really do try and take good care of my skin. As I said, you get to a certain age and you really want to look after it, right? But I've started adding like a massage, a décolletage, and how can I say that nicely? Chin. Let's just say chin. Neck massage to my routine, because it's that extra attention, and I feel like I'm putting really nourishing oils on. So when I wake up in the morning, I don't, do you know women of a certain age? Let's put cards on the table. You can wake up, and where you've like slept like that, you kind of get those lines in your chest. And I found that putting this oil and massaging on, it's like really nourishing, beautiful, botanical infused oils. It means I don't get that problem. And I just like that. So basically, what is a self-love ritual? It is writing down, essentially, all the things that you can do in a day or in your week that serve you, that are making you feel good about yourself, that makes you feel loved and cared for. And the reason I say write it down is, I mean, my whole thing about feeding your fairy, it's not a euphemism, I promise, but if you haven't come across my Feed Your Fairy concept before, it's a program that I run, and it's all about learning to care for yourself and nurture yourself and take beautiful care of yourself. And this is kind of what a self-love ritual will do. But when we write it down in black and white and we look at it, it helps us to process it and remember all those little details and all those little nuances and little habits that when life happens and, we're bombarded with kids stuff and work stuff and pet stuff and parent stuff and all this kind of stuff. We get flooded with everybody else's things and everything that we need to do in an average day. The average woman is juggling so many balls and spinning so many plates. Like, sometimes I wonder why we don't pop. And the things that we need to do for ourselves sometimes go by the wayside. They just kind of disappear because everything else is rammed in there. When it's written down, black and white, straight ahead of you, it helps you to process it, because we talk about the levels. In psychology, we talk about the levels of processing model. So it's all very well thinking it, but if you think it and write it, if you think it, write it and doodle it, if you think it, write it, doodle it and have it on your phone. And the more we process things, the deeper it goes into our psyche and into our mind. So your homework for today, my darling, is to write down that's working for you right now, the stuff that makes you feel good. And it can be as shallow or as deep as you like, so if it, me not liking lines on my chest in the morning, to making sure that I'm taking beautiful care of my sleep, to and reading a series of books because it benefits my heart rate. But it can be anything. It can be absolutely anything. Does walking to work suit you better than catching a bus? Does, eating first thing in the morning serve you better than just running out the door and then you don't realize you didn't eat till 2:00, and by that time you've got a headache? It's making a list of these beautiful things that mean that you are functioning at your best. And if you write them down and create a ritual around them, you're going to be loving yourself a whole heap every single day. All right, my darlings, hope that helps. I'll see you tomorrow for day 30. Goodness me, 30 days already. As I said, if you want to know anything more about the Feed Your Fairy program, please feel free to send me a message. Click on the link. I'll put it below. If you feel like you're not really taking beautiful care of yourself every day, I'm here to help. All right, my darlings, take care. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.